Howdy folks, Mark Serbu, gun designer, gun nut. Got something really cool here today. Something that will bring great joy and pleasure to a lot of people and a lot of irrational fear and hatred among others. Actually, didn't even know till recently that 45 is a FUD caliber. Did you know that? I had no idea. But you know, that's the way things are nowadays. It's like every group is pit against other group. Right. Every group is pitted against every other group. Whatever. I mean, you got blacks against whites, Jews against Gentiles, Jews against Muslims, men against women, old against young. It's like every possible group is pitted against every other possible group. Oh, there, it must have been pitted because I said it. But, you know, if you're a gun guy, you're a gun guy. Don't think one caliber is shittier than another, unless, of course, it's a 25 ACP. Just kidding. I like all guns pretty much, except revolvers. No. I actually only have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 revolvers, and I have lots and lots of semi-autos, lots of machine guns, lots of, you know, everything. But 45s are kind of classic, you know. They're just I don't know, there's something about them. It's probably Browning's best, well, it's not his best pistol. The high power is probably his best pistol, but this was a great pistol for a long time. It served in how many wars? I mean, everybody always quotes that, but anyway, here's a nice little collection that I personally own. Well, except for this one. It's my dad's for now, but we'll get into that. Okay, so in no particular order, first we'll look at the Colt government model. This is, well, they're all Colt government model. This is the Delta Elite. And man, look at that. I don't know if I paid attention to these so much when they were in their heyday, but what's coolest about this is that it's a 10 millimeter. Every other one of these is a 45 ACP, but this is 10 millimeter, baby. And that's pretty serious. Yeah, so I will be shooting this, but not yet. I'm going to shoot them all at once. I don't even know if I'm going to shoot them in this video. We'll just look at them first. But anyway, Delta Elite 10 millimeter, and I got this unfired. Guys had this for years, and I, of course, I'm going to shoot it right away because I don't like leaving guns unfired. Here you go. This is, for a lot of you, this is the real prize of the collection. This is a real 1911, you know, original. And what's really neat about this is that my grandfather was with his dad when he bought this on his way to World War I. So he was at the, from what I gather, from what I remember, he went to the hardware store with him and got this sucker and got the holster and everything with it. But yeah, he bought it in 1917. This has been in the family ever since. And this is what, you know, growing up, this is what I knew of as the gun in the house. You know, this is the big 45, and I never got to play with it on my own. Of course, I was too small to shoot it till I was about 15 or 16. And next we have the Tises, however the hell you say that. This is cheap. This is Turkish made. And it's, as you can see, it's very much a clone of the original. Well, except, you know, the ejection port is a little bit different, but it's a pretty close clone otherwise of the original. Except it does have a couple of features that are kind of not, what do you call it? Not congruent. No, it doesn't have a curved mainspring housing, which the originals had. They had a straight mainspring housing, but it does have the recessed trigger like the A1. So this is kind of like a combination of both, which isn't bad. I kind of prefer the looks of this, but it's not all about looks now, is it? It's about how it shoots. Now this, it's a decent gun. Shoots okay. I mean, I haven't really tried to group them all and see which does better than another, but one thing that was obvious when I took it apart is that the bushing was, it had some burrs in it, and I actually had to take a file to it. So, you know, what do you expect for $bucks though, and made in Turkey? But, you know, very nice looking gun. Holy crap, for $bucks, that was a steal. Wait, can I talk about money? not telling you where to buy this. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you what I paid for it. So be kind, YouTube. Ha, yeah, right. All right, the Gold Cup National Match in stainless. I don't like stainless. Yeah, one reason, you get smudges all over it, right? I am not a big stainless guy. In fact, one of my friends called me some racial epithets. Epithet? Word I don't use much, but you know, I don't care. It's another one that's unfired that I got from this guy. I got a few of them. I mean, he likes shiny ones, but actually the next one coming up was one of his also. And this was unfired since the 80s, I guess. But it will be fired very soon. Yeah, National Match are great. They've got a really nice trigger. It's just very, very slick too. Yeah, very nice trigger. But so this is, I got those two stainless guns and this from the guy, and he bought them, kept them around, never fired them, and I don't know why you do that, but no, he's just a collector. Flat mainspring housing and an original non-A1 trigger location, but this is supposedly, this was not supposed to exist. This actually is a copy of what the Marines use, and I actually had one. It was all done in desert tan and stuff, and they are available on the civilian market, and they're really expensive because a lot of guys want to own stuff that's actually been used by soldiers in war, you know. So, but I like this because it doesn't have the crappy desert tan Cerakote, which I am not a fan of Cerakote. Sorry, folks. I prefer. Sorry, the camera crapped out. It's like I was saying, I'm a fan of conversion coatings, you know, where you convert the oxide, the outer oxide layer of the steel, which is what this is with Parkerizing. And I don't know, I'm not a fan of this kind of grip either, but whatever. This is a cool gun, and it's oh, what's wrong with it? It's very smooth and slick, like the National Match, and it has a really nice trigger. So, oh, I dry fired it. Who out there doesn't like dry firing guns? Okay, well, guess what? I'm a gun designer. I dry fire guns, so shut your hole. Okay, now this is this came from the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program, and if you don't know about that, you should check into it, because that's the place where you could get M1 Garands and stuff like that for years. You still can, but you know, that stuff's not going to be around forever. And these are guns that have been in the Army, Marines, whatever, been to war. And the first one I got back in, oh God, I don't know, at least 20, 25 years ago. And you actually had to compete in a match to be allowed to buy one. Now you just have to join a club like the Garand Collectors Association or something. And the first one I got for, now this, same sort of deal. You gotta belong to some kind of club, and you gotta fill out all this paperwork and get stuff notarized. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but this is from the CMP, and this is a real, you know, U.S. property. This standard 45, it might have been used in Korea, might have been used, I don't know how old it is, I didn't check the serial number on it yet, but you know, it's just your standard pre-A1, no, it's an A1 45. It's got the curved mainspring housing, and it's got the trigger sticking out the right amount for the A1, but you know, not a great gun, not a bad gun, but you know, it's a piece of history, and for what the hell. All right, last but not least, you've seen this one before. This is my, I guess at the time it was the 52 or 54-year-old Virgin. I got this from a guy who just happened to call the shop and wanted to know if we bought old guns, and I'm like, yeah, what do you have? And I got this old 45, and turned out it was this 1967 National Match, unfired. I mean, unfired, not even taken apart for cleaning as far as I could tell. And this is a really nice, really nice, because, you know, 1967, I guess they still cared. I don't know. But it's beautifully smooth, very nice trigger, of course. And, you know, pre-A1 straight mainspring housing, and trigger adjustable. I've never adjusted it, but that's it, folks. There's a look at random bunch of 45s that I have, and I'd like to hear about your 45s. Are you a fan of 45s, or do you think they're a FUD caliber or a FUD gun? outclassed by whatever we have now, which, yeah, right, with plastic. You know, I'm a fan of plastic as well for certain applications, but, you know, this is just classic old, you know, real American guns. Great stuff, great piece of history. All right, first time ever shooting a 10mm. Ever in my whole life. I know it doesn't look straight now, but trust me, I'm aiming at the target. There we go, see? All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. Doesn't feel too different. Well, I gotta feel a 45 next to it. You know, I decided I'm only gonna deflower the virgins on this one. Why not, right? Okay, so now we're shooting the real FUD caliber. Wait, so I was shooting 10mm. That's not a FUD caliber, right? No, wait, I gotta show that, right? There you go, put that 45 in there. All right, and this is going in the other virgin. Okay. Let's show it again. Here we go. There we go. 45 auto. I carry 45 because they don't make a 46. All right. Yeah, that's it. You sound like a rat over there. Okay. Here we go. Fire in the hole. Shut your ears. Okay. First time shooting Gold Cup. Fire in the hole. Yeah. Doesn't feel too different. Let's get another view on here. Oh wait, it's not in focus. Holy crap, come on. Weird the iPhone wouldn't focus on that, huh? Let's get some slow motion, huh? This puppy, yeah. In fact, let's get another round in there. I forgot to mention this really cool stand that I made. Actually, my buddy water jetted the aluminum base.
Coño, marico, estoy en camino para Orlando ahorita,
And countersunk the holes. Drilled. Actually, it wasn't drilled. It was cut on the water jet, but he countersunk the holes. But I 3D printed these, and I'll show you something really cool about the way I put the nuts inside of those. If you've never watched a 3D printer before, they're pretty amazing. I mean, look at the speed of this thing. But like anything controlled by a computer, like a CNC machine, they're completely amazing and something that we just take for granted nowadays. But I guarantee you, if you could transport yourself back to 1692 Salem, Massachusetts, you'd have about a 100% chance of getting hanged for being a witch if you had one of these with you. So what I didn't realize until my buddy told me is that you have the ability to pause the 3D printer. And that allows you to insert hardware like these stainless steel hex nuts. Pretty cool. What's crazy is I was initially going to make these parts out of aluminum, and then after I started programming it and thinking about the setups, it turned out to be a kind of complicated problem. And of course, you weren't going to have steel hex nuts inside there. It was just going to be threaded into aluminum, which is less than ideal. But after this, it would have been fine. But it actually isn't a super easy part to machine. So 3D printing is a much better way to go. I just don't automatically think of that, but it's kind of new to me, and I'm starting to think that way. And the great part is that even though it's a slow process, I mean, I think this whole setup with 7 different parts in there, I think it took 3 or 4 hours maybe, but I think I was at home when it was doing that. So that's great. It's kind of a fire and forget. You don't have to be there actually doing stuff. You just push the button and go away. Okay, well now this is really the end this time. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the 1911 in general. And do you have a favorite brand? Do you have any really cool 1911 stories? Like my favorite is that 1967 national match that I just got from some random guy calling the shop looking for us to buy a gun. That was my favorite. But yeah, of course, I love the great-grandfather carrying one story. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to hear your 1911 stories. Love to hear what cool 1911s you have. So let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and as I'm editing this, it's New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you have a great 2024.